we can develop a number of themes with regard to the Muslim presence in Spain. Because the Muslims were dominant at that time, the Andalusian region, because the name itself is taken from the Vandals, Vandalus in Arabic, Vandalus, Andalusia, the Vandals live there. So, I mean, the Muslims began to transform the Iberian Peninsula culturally. You began to see that the palatial lifestyle of the Muslim rulers in Baghdad and in Damascus was now beginning to be imported into the area. And of course, the lifestyle in Cordova, which is now celebrated by Muslim historians and many who write about the Muslim presence in Spain, you see that new cities and towns were created. And in Cordova, from the 785 AD, Muslim rulers began to compete with one another in terms of building the best kind of towns and cities. They created a lifestyle which was very attractive to other Europeans, to the point that European rulers and noblemen used to come to Cordova for medical checkup. Just like today, many third world rulers will come to Ohio Hospital, Cincinnati somewhere, or in Walter Reed Hospital to have medical checkups. So, I mean, you have that kind of situation where Cordova became a very attractive center of culture and civilization. And of course, many of these people who were coming into Cordova were being attracted because Cordova was not only a center of learning, but it was also a major emporium in terms of buying and selling. You have goods coming from various parts of the Muslim world into Spain. When we were talking about Islamization in North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, we talk about the golden trade of the Moors. Gold was now moving from Sub-Saharan Africa to Spain, and of course, slaves were being imported from the African continent and from Eastern Europe, and many of those slaves found themselves in the Iberian Peninsula. You also had spices coming from the east into the Iberian Peninsula. Many factories were established. Many people tend to forget that the word factory, which is now used in the English language, has an Italian origin, but the concept of a factory as understood in the medieval period was really part of the Islamic civilization. And the whole idea of banking came out of the Arab civilization. I mean, now many Arabs don't even know that the concept of a check, it grew out of the Islamic civilization. And because the Islamic civilization was built on the notion of trust. You do not only trust God, but you trust your fellow man. So if I'm from Andalus in Cordova and I'm going for Hajj, it takes months, because to travel from Andalusia in Spain to Egypt used to take you almost 3 months in those days. And then from Egypt going to Saudi Arabia, you may add another couple of weeks. So it would be a 1-year journey if you're really interested in going for Hajj in those days. If you're coming from Timbuktu to go for Hajj, it will take much longer. But you can be given a check, a note signed by one person, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, so that when you go to Makkah, there is Kamal Jumjum. And Kamal Jumjum, who doesn't know you from Adam, but he recognized the signature of Muhammad ibn Abdullah, he will give you 1,000 dinar. That's how the check idea came from. You see, that is, now the Americans have taken that Arab Islamic civilization contribution to the plastic, to the point that now you can go anywhere else with your MasterCard or Visa. And you can see the names given to it, Visa. You don't need a visa, you can go anywhere. Like from place to place. All you have, get your plastic. So jokingly, I always tell people when I give lectures in some universities or communities, that what is very strange, interesting really is that during the Islamic civilization, when this concept of the check became part of the human enterprise and the whole idea of a bank, because the whole idea of a bank is built on the Italian, who were very much influenced by the Muslim gave the English and the Germanic and other languages the word bank. But banco is a translation of something that was done by the Muslims in Spain and in the East, in Baghdad. You have a bench and a scale. The word bank is banco in Italian, meaning a bench. So in the Islamic civilization, all you needed was you have a scale, you have just measure of balancing, and you lend money to people under mudaraba or musaraka kind of concept. Now, in Spain, of course, this process was taken to a higher level of sophistication and development. And of course, the Muslims were able to engage in this kind of transaction. But this was based on the concept of Tawheed and the whole concept of Muslim solidarity. I trust you, you trust me, and we all trust Allah. Now, what has happened, of course, if you look at the concept of the check and the manner in which it has been transformed across civilization, because the Italians will get it, they pass it to the French, the Dutch, and then the British and all the other groups. Now it's in America. You can see the transformation of values, because what happens now, many of us with our credit cards, we go into a gas station, we feel very smugly secure. Fill it up. Now the guy doesn't know you from Adam. They fill it up, and you flash your card. He doesn't trust you. He trusts MasterCard. You see what I'm saying? So the trust level has changed. I mean, like when you carry the check from me, I trust you. And when you go to Stevens over there, he gives you the check, not because he knows you, but because he trusts me. You see, but now when I flash my MasterCard, the gas station attendant doesn't trust me at all, because he doesn't know me from Adam. You see what I'm saying? And the MasterCard people don't even know he exists. They know that he is working maybe at the gas station, but the MasterCard trusts me because they know everything about me. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't pay them, the state will go after you. You see the change in terms of consumption. Now, but this is what happened in terms of the Iberian civilization.